Chosen one, there is a moment in your life when obedience is no longer just a decision. It becomes a door. And this night, I have ordained that door to open before you. You do not have to see the entire path, but you must step forward. Because the richness that has eluded you, the provision you've been waiting for, is now standing still, waiting on your obedience. I have watched you hesitate, second guess, and overthink the instructions I've given you. But tonight I speak clearly. This is the hour where obedience activates everything. Not just provision, but legacy. Not just answers, but alignment with your true destiny. There are things I will not release into your life until you obey what I last told you. Not because I'm withholding, but because I'm protecting the weight of the blessing. I will not allow you to mishandle what was meant to multiply. I do not operate in chaos. I am a God of order, and obedience establishes the flow of that order. When you obey me tonight, you unlock the ancient gates that have held back your breakthrough. This obedience is not about punishment. It's about positioning. I'm not testing your ability to perform. I'm confirming your readiness to carry what's holy. If you can hear me and you're still listening, you're already closer than you think. You've asked me for increase, favor, opportunity. Now I'm asking you for obedience. I'm not interested in your perfection. I'm after your response. There is a level of wealth that only opens through the sound of your yes. You cannot manipulate it. You cannot buy it. You must align with it. You must release control. Because what I have for you is not earned, it is transferred by obedience. I did not choose you for convenience. I chose you for covenant. This is not about doing what feels good. It's about doing what is right in my eyes. There are instructions I gave you that you've ignored, postponed, or rationalized away. But your delay has delayed the richness. I say this not to shame you, but to wake you. Your obedience tonight is not about earning my love. It's about unlocking your inheritance. The next chapter of your life requires a new level of trust. You keep asking for signs, but I've already spoken. The delay is not due to confusion. It's due to hesitation. And hesitation in the face of my word is disobedience, even when it's dressed up as caution. I don't need you to understand everything. I need you to trust me anyway. I'm not building your comfort. I'm building your calling. What's waiting for you on the other side of obedience is far more than you're imagining. This is not just about provision. It's about permanence. Obey now, and I will establish what cannot be uprooted. There are realms of favor, influence, and resource that remain hidden until obedience becomes your posture. I'm not moved by empty declarations. I respond to surrendered action. You cannot serve two visions, your comfort and my command. I have called you to walk by faith, not by your feelings, and tonight I am drawing a clear line. Obey me and see my hand move. Ignore me and remain in cycles. This is not punishment. It's the consequence of alignment or disconnection. You are too close to stop now. Your obedience tonight is not small, it is prophetic. It will mark a shift not just for you, but for generations after you. You are breaking a pattern every time you say yes to me. You are canceling delay every time you follow through. You are commanding the winds of favor to blow your direction through your obedience. I will not let your obedience go unrewarded, but I will also not reward your disobedience. Choose wisely, chosen one. This is your turning point. You said, yes, the calling within. Script writing, Kaisti 8 said, excellent. Here's block 2, continuing seamlessly in tone, structure, and spiritual authority. Block 2. Chosen one, obedience is not just a task, it is your access point to divine movement. Every time you obey me, even when you don't understand, you're telling heaven you're ready for more. And tonight, heaven is listening. I am not calling you to perform, I am calling you to trust. Your obedience carries weight in the spirit realm, and what you activate through it cannot be reversed by man. You've tried doing things your own way, and it only brought frustration. Now I am showing you a higher way, a way that leads to fullness, not survival. Obedience is the currency that unlocks the storehouses of heaven. This is not the hour to ask me for confirmation again when you already know what I said. You heard me the first time. And every delay you've experienced was not because the blessing was blocked, it was because your yes was hesitant. I need you to understand the urgency of this moment. What you obey tonight will establish the flow for the rest of your life. Not because I'm threatening you, but because I've timed everything around your willingness to act. Delayed obedience is still disobedience, and I cannot build greatness on a foundation of compromise. Move now, or miss what was meant to be permanent. I'm shifting things quickly. What once took years will happen in moments, but you must be in motion when the door opens, or you'll miss the alignment. I am not just sending you a breakthrough, I am sending you blueprints, and they will only make sense as you obey step by step. You're not behind schedule. You're one obedient act away from divine acceleration. When you move in obedience, I remove obstacles. When you hesitate, the obstacles remain as your teachers. You've prayed, God, open the windows of heaven, and I say to you, obey and I will. Your obedience will do more than your striving ever could. You think the riches are far away, but they are standing right behind your yes. You think the door is locked, but it only responds to obedience. You think you're unqualified, but I only promote those who obey, not those who impress. I'm not watching your talent, I am watching your response. You are being tested not with pressure, but with instruction. Let's lock this in. Smash that like button right now. Subscribe so you never miss another prophetic moment, and drop 55 in the comments. It's your covenant code for divine alignment. The blessing is no longer waiting on me, it's waiting on you. You already have the word, the vision, and the timing. What you need now is motion. You keep saying, God, show me what's next. But I am saying, do what I said last. Until you obey, I will not give new instructions. I am not a God of confusion, but I do require order. And order always begins with obedience. You don't need another sign. You need to follow the one I already gave you. The richness you're believing for is real. It's tangible, it's scheduled, but it's also conditional. I will never build something eternal on partial surrender. The inheritance I've set aside for you cannot be accessed by convenience. It must be unlocked through consistent, precise obedience. Not just obedience in the big things, but in the quiet, ordinary instructions. That's where the shift happens. That's where the overflow begins. I know it's cost you before to obey. I know it made you feel foolish to walk away when everyone else stayed. I know they mocked you for trusting me when nothing made sense. But tonight, I will honor the obedience you chose in secret. I saw every time you said yes while scared. I recorded every sacrifice. I counted every moment you chose me over your own logic. And now I say, the reward begins. The delay ends. The richness flows. You said, yes, the calling within. Script writing, Tool 8 said, perfect. Here is Block 3, continuing the revelation and flow seamlessly. Block 3. Chosen one, your obedience is not just about you, it's about everything connected to your name. There are blessings tied to your last name that will never be unlocked unless you say yes tonight. I am not speaking to your feelings, I am speaking to your calling. The kind of richness I've prepared for you will touch not just your bank account, but your bloodline. I did not choose you to maintain what has been, I chose you to break what has always been. You are the interruption to cycles of poverty, fear, and spiritual paralysis. Your obedience is generational. It sets in motion what eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. When you obey me, you give me legal access to do what I've already promised. My will for you is not optional, it is established. But access requires action. You keep asking me to intervene, but I cannot override your refusal to move. I've shown you the door, now I need you to walk through it. You will not lose by obeying me. You will only lose what was never meant to stay. And what I have in store is infinitely greater than anything I'm asking you to release. You were not born to play it safe. You were born to obey me radically, even when it offends logic. Faith is not measured by emotion, it is proven by movement. I don't need you to feel ready, I need you to act like it. This next blessing will not be handed to you in comfort. It will be released through obedience in discomfort. What you fear is not the obstacle, it's the threshold. And every threshold must be crossed in trust. I am waiting for your movement to unlock my manifestation. You've wondered why it feels like everything paused around you. It's because I'm waiting for your yes to release the fullness of what I've prepared. The silence is not absence. It's the stillness before a flood. And I won't flood your life with blessing until the foundation is secure in obedience. I've seen your hunger. I've heard your declarations. But now I need your alignment. Because I will not pour new wine into old skins. and I will not pour divine wealth into a disobedient vessel. Obedience is how I know you're ready, not your passion, not your prayers. Your actions tell me where your faith really stands. When you obey me tonight, you are not just following instruction, you are signing a spiritual contract. This is covenant-level obedience, and I am a covenant-keeping God. You are one decision away from breaking a lifetime of limitation. You are one act away from seeing me move in ways you've never witnessed before. There are certain levels of richness I've reserved only for those who can steward my instruction with reverence. I am not looking for talent. I am looking for yielded hearts, the ones who obey me without applause, the ones who follow me without full details, the ones who trust me even when it's costly. You, chosen one, are one of them. That is why the enemy has fought your obedience so violently, because he knows what's on the other side of your yes. And he fears your obedience more than your prayers. I am not calling you to understand everything tonight. I'm calling you to trust me with everything tonight. Your obedience is the proof of your trust, and your trust gives me permission to do what eyes have never seen. This next act of obedience will activate divine strategies, supernatural connections, doors that no man can shut, wealth that doesn't just fill your hands, but expands your legacy. If you can trust me with this one step, I will entrust you with a lifetime of divine flow. Chosen one, there's a reason I'm pressing this instruction on your spirit tonight. It's because this act of obedience will shift time itself. There are blessings that were delayed not by demonic interference, but by indecision. But I'm redeeming the time. I'm collapsing what should have taken years into moments. Because when you obey me, I collapse the gap between promise and possession. You don't have to chase what I've already assigned to your name. You just have to move when I say move. Tonight, obedience isn't just the key, it's the ignition. You've asked me to confirm that this is the season for wealth. It is. But your wealth won't show up by wish, it arrives through obedience. I do not bless confusion, I bless clarity. And clarity only comes when you act on what I said last. Some of you are waiting for me to say more, but I've already said enough. When you act, I'll speak again. When you obey, I'll show the next door, but until then, silence is the only answer you'll hear. I've heard your private cries for breakthrough, but what I'm asking for now is public movement. I want to see you obey in ways that disrupt your normal. I want to see you take bold steps even when no one claps for you. This is not a hidden obedience, it's a visible one. I am calling you to walk out your yes, not just pray it, not just write it, but do it. Because motion is the new language of your breakthrough. You are not stuck, you're simply out of alignment. And the moment you obey me, everything will begin to rearrange itself around that yes. The provision is already in place. The favor is already appointed. The helpers are already assigned. But your motion is the magnet that pulls it all into your life. Nothing can be drawn toward passivity, but everything responds to obedience. When you move, heaven moves. And when heaven moves, nothing can stop it. Before we keep going, take a quick moment. Like this message if it's hitting your spirit. Subscribe so you stay connected to every divine release. And comment 55. It's your prophetic agreement for covenant, new beginnings, and divine alignment. The reason the warfare increased right before this moment is because the enemy saw what you couldn't. He saw the vault of riches that would open when you finally obeyed. That's why the doubt intensified. That's why the fear whispered louder. But I am telling you, do not back down now. You are at the edge of the shift, the brink of divine transfer, the threshold of unstoppable overflow, and all of it hinges on what you do with my voice tonight. You are not being asked to figure it all out. I never required that. I only asked for your surrender. I only asked for your trust. This is not about intellect, it's about intimacy. I'm not building your empire. I'm building my kingdom through you, and wealth will follow that kingdom call. You don't need to understand it to walk in it. You just need to obey and watch what happens next. I've already scheduled the people, the provision, and the path, but I will not force it on you. You must choose obedience, not eventually, not tomorrow, now, because the door I've opened tonight will not remain open forever. This is not to scare you, it's to awaken you. There is a window open, and I want you to walk through it. Not with fear, but with the confidence that heaven is backing your every step. Chosen one, this obedience I'm calling you into is not just for elevation, it's for protection. There are things ahead that only your obedience can shield you from. You don't see what I see. You don't know what's being plotted behind closed doors, but I do. And when you obey me now, you step under a covering that the enemy cannot penetrate. My instruction is your shelter. My voice is your safeguard. And my timing is your defense. You're not just walking into wealth, you're walking into warfare. And the only thing that keeps you safe in both is obedience. You don't have to be afraid of the battle if you're aligned with my direction. I never send you where my grace cannot keep you. I never lead you without preparing the provision in advance. You are not entering this next season blind. You're entering it backed. But only obedience secures your armor, and only alignment ensures your victory. You've been sensing that something is shifting, and you're right. The ground beneath your life is moving because I'm realigning everything for what's next. This shaking is not destruction. It's positioning. I'm moving the wrong people out. I'm closing the doors that no longer serve your destiny. And I'm opening new ones that only your obedience will recognize. If you remain attached to what I've released you from, you'll miss what I've released for you. Let go. Walk forward. Trust me. This obedience will cost you comfort, but it will buy you peace. I'm not calling you into convenience, I'm calling you into covenant. And covenant always requires a cutting away. There are things you must lay down to step into what I'm pouring out. Not because you're being punished, but because you're being prepared. You can't carry both disobedience and destiny. You must choose. And I'm watching your choice tonight. Not because I'm unsure, but because your future is being written by your response. Obedience is not passive, it's powerful. Every time you say yes to me, something shifts in the atmosphere. Every time you trust me above your emotions, the kingdom advances through you. You are not small, and your obedience is not insignificant. You're carrying a divine agenda. You're moving spiritual weight. You're unlocking what others have only dreamed about. But you must move now. You must act without delay, because your obedience is creating access that prayer alone could never open. You've wondered why the instructions have been so specific lately. It's because the blessing is also specific. I'm not giving you general favor, I'm giving you precision wealth. I'm targeting areas of your life that have been dry for years, and I'm about to flood them with my goodness. But I need you to follow me exactly. No detours, no alterations, no substitutions. Do what I said, how I said it, and watch me fulfill every single word. This is not about being perfect, it's about being aligned. I will cover your weakness. I will grace your gaps, but I cannot bless disobedience. I cannot endorse rebellion, and I will not finance your refusal to follow my lead. I love you too much to let you prosper out of order. My blessings don't come through manipulation, they come through submission. And tonight, I'm asking you to surrender again. Not because you failed, but because you're ready. This is your moment to come into full alignment. This is your moment to obey and receive. Chosen one, the obedience I require tonight is not ordinary. It is prophetic. This is not about following rules. It's about responding to revelation. I am giving you insight into what's coming so you can act before it arrives. The world reacts, but my chosen ones move by instruction. I've shown you glimpses, stirred your spirit and placed a weight on your heart, and now I'm calling you to respond. Because what you obey today will meet you tomorrow as supernatural provision. This is not about survival. This is about divine positioning for irreversible overflow. There are doors I have already commanded to open, but they remain closed until you walk toward them. Heaven is not waiting on more prayers. Heaven is waiting on your movement. You are not stuck, you are stationed. And the moment you obey, your assignment will activate the access. You were not born to wonder if it will happen. You were born to walk in certainty. And certainty doesn't come from knowing the outcome. It comes from trusting the voice who sees beyond what you can. When I said go, I didn't ask you to map it. I asked you to move. This is that moment. The ones I use the most are never the ones who feel the most qualified. They're the ones who obey the most consistently. I'm not measuring your ability. I'm testing your willingness. Can you follow me without applause? Can you say yes without explanation? Can you obey even when it costs visibility, comfort, or approval? Because the richness I'm pouring out is only for those who've built their lives on my word, not on their preferences. I'm not adjusting my instructions to fit your schedule. I'm adjusting your schedule to align with my instruction. You don't need a clearer sign. You need a deeper surrender. The reason it feels like everything is on pause is because I'm waiting for your whole yes. Not your hesitant yes, not your maybe when I'm ready yes. Your full, immediate, no turning back yes. I'm not interested in part-time obedience. I'm calling you to a lifestyle of response. Because what I'm about to pour out will demand your full attention and absolute trust. I won't send wealth to a divided heart. I'll only pour into the fully yielded. You've felt something building, haven't you? That stirring in your spirit wasn't your imagination. It was confirmation. That urgency you can't shake is not pressure. It's prophetic timing. I'm getting ready to shift you into something you couldn't have planned. But you'll only recognize it if your ears are tuned to my voice. The enemy has tried to confuse your sensitivity, to make you doubt the timing. But I say now, this is the moment to move. This is the hour to obey. This is the doorway to your forever richness. Do not underestimate what obedience will unlock in this hour. It will unlock favor in rooms your name has never entered. It will unlock resources that were hidden until now. It will bring restoration to what you thought was lost forever. It will reconcile relationships, release new assignments, and position you to receive without striving. What you think obedience will cost you is nothing compared to what it's about to release. This is not hype, it is holy. It is not emotional, it is eternal. I have gone before you. I have cleared the path. I have secured the blessing. Now I need you to match it with your movement. Don't negotiate with my instruction. Don't delay your breakthrough by postponing your yes. This is the act that unlocks the abundance. This is the obedience that opens the treasury. Say yes with your actions, say yes with your decisions, say yes with your feet, and I will meet you there with more than enough. Chosen one, the fullness of what I've prepared cannot be accessed through partial obedience. This final yes I'm asking for is the unlocking key to a level of richness you've never seen. You've obeyed in pieces before, and I honored it. But this time, I want everything. Because the richness I'm about to pour out won't fit inside a heart still clinging to backup plans. I'm not competing with your plan B. I am the plan. And when you trust me fully, I will bless you fully. I'm speaking to the part of you that still hesitates, the part that second guesses when no one is looking, the part that fears if you obey, you'll lose something you think you need. But hear me. What you lose in obedience is nothing compared to what you gain in overflow. I do not subtract without multiplying. I do not ask for a seed unless I've already ordained the harvest. You're afraid of the cost, but I'm calling you to focus on the covenant. You're afraid of losing control, but I'm promising you divine covering. You're not stepping into the unknown. You're stepping into what I've already finished. You are standing on the edge of divine release. Everything you've carried, every sacrifice you've made, every step of faith, it's all been leading to this moment. This is the threshold, the pivot, the place where my promise collides with your obedience. And when those two meet, nothing can stop what I release. This next door will not open through force, striving, or manipulation. It will open through surrender. I'm not asking you to push it down, I'm asking you to walk in. It's already yours. But you must choose to cross. There are angels already positioned on the other side of your yes. There are divine appointments already scheduled the moment your feet move. There are resources being routed, ideas being released, and partnerships being aligned right now. But you won't see any of it from the sidelines. It only manifests as you move. This is not a test, it's a transfer, and the transfer requires timing. I will not wait forever. This moment has been divinely orchestrated, and your response is what unlocks it all. Let's pause and seal this moment together. Tap the like button, it shows you're receiving this. Subscribe if this word is confirming what you already know inside. Comment 55. Your prophetic agreement with divine alignment and new beginnings. You were never meant to survive life. You were chosen to transform it. And this obedience tonight will unlock resources you didn't even pray for. I will bless you beyond your list. I will fund things you forgot to ask for. I will elevate you in places you felt invisible. But it all hinges on your obedience. I won't force you. But I will honor your yes with power, favor, and generational wealth that no one can take from you. The world teaches you to grind. I teach you to trust. The world says hustle, I say obey, and what I pour into your life through trust will embarrass what you could have built through stress. I'm not impressed by your striving, I'm drawn to your surrender. When you trust me this fully, I will prove myself this abundantly. I will make it undeniable that obedience is the most powerful seed you've ever sown. There's no more need to delay, doubt, or defer. You've heard me. You know what I've said. Now move. I will not leave you empty-handed. I will not abandon those who obey. But I cannot pour fresh oil into a vessel still clinging to yesterday's fear. Tonight, let go of fear, let go of hesitation, and step fully into what I have already written. The vault of divine wealth is waiting. The only thing left is your obedience, chosen one. Now that you've heard my voice, the responsibility is no longer on the word. It's on your response. I've spoken plainly, clearly, and without delay. You know what I'm asking. You know what obedience looks like. And now you must decide whether you will align or drift. There is no middle ground in this moment. You either step forward or remain where you've always been. But I've called you for more, and that more is waiting on your motion. I have gone before you, prepared the path and positioned the provision. There is no lack in my plan. There is only abundance that responds to faith. Your obedience is not about perfection, it's about alignment. You will make mistakes, but I will cover you. What I will not cover is rebellion masquerading as hesitation. When I speak, I expect movement, because my word never returns void. It accomplishes what I send it to do through your yes. There is no more room for excuses. The old cycles, the old doubts, the old distractions, they must all be laid down tonight. If you do not let them die, they will continue to delay the life I've called you into. This is your moment to release every fear, every false identity, every safety net you've built to avoid surrender. I am not asking for your understanding. I am asking for your obedience. Trust me when it doesn't make sense. Obey me when no one claps for you. Move when all you have is my word. I declare now, as you obey, richness will pursue you without resistance. The heavens are opened, the favor is scheduled, and the wealth is confirmed. There will be no striving, only receiving, no confusion, only clarity, no delay, only divine acceleration. Because when the chosen one obeys, all of heaven responds. Now move and never look back.